Morning, everyone. Hi, my name is Sara, and this is a gentle yin practice. So this morning you will need a yoga mat or soft carpet. You're going to need a couple of blankets if you have them, and then beyond that, any other props if you like to use blocks. If you have a yoga bolster at home, that's great. So we're going to start this morning on your back. So please take your blanket, or if you don't have a blanket like this, you can use a towel and make a little roll for it, or just a little fold at the end. So I folded it kind of like this, and then you want to make a little roll there, and your shoulders are going on the other side of this roll. So take a moment to just get your blanket or your towel folded, and then come all the way down onto your back. If you have yoga blocks at home here, this might be a good place to use them. You can use them to tuck under your legs. We're coming into Baddha Konasana, or the soles of the feet together. So you're going to come down and bring your shoulders all the way on the other side of that roll. So the roll is a little, kind of where your bra line would be, if you wear a bra. And the men can just imagine where that might be. And then take your yoga blocks and put them under your legs like this. Or if you don't have blocks or you don't like the way this feels, let your legs come out straight. So then let your head come all the way down, and let your arms come to cactus arms or out to the side. Just kind of play around with it to get settled here. And adjust if you need to. And then begin to focus on your breath. And by that I mean be aware of it. Just be aware if your breath is a little short, or if you're breathing up in the top of your chest. Maybe you're a little panicky today. And see if you can pull the breath down low. Bring it down into your belly. Make it calm and even. Begin to let go of the outside world. Let go of all the things that are weighing on you today. And just become present in this moment. Allow your breath to be very full and complete throughout your entire torso. And you might notice that in this position you're able to breathe a little bit more clear, a little bit more open, because we're opening the chest, opening the heart and the lung area. And just go with it. Allow that breath to move freely in your body. Beautiful. Please continue in this position. I'm going to adjust and move so that I can read something to you. But please continue to lie on your back. So my son sent me a little reading or a poem the other day, and I thought it would be appropriate to read to you. It's called Some People. And these days lots of stuff is floating around on the internet, so you may have already heard this, but it really resonated with me and I wanted to share it with you. And the reason that I chose this today is that it reminds me of how connected we are in spite of not even being able to be together. Some people feel helpless and anxious. Some people are bored. Some people are self-quarantined, alone, and are lonely. Some people are realizing that after will be very different from before. Some people are really enjoying this extra time with their kids and they'll miss it when it's over. Some people just got off of their double shift at the hospital and they can't hug their family. Some people visited their favorite restaurant for the last time and didn't even realize it. Some people can't stop reading the news. Some people are learning how to bake bread. Some people are doing yoga. Some people are single parents trying to work from home while simultaneously trying to homeschool their kids. Some people lost their jobs. Some people can't sleep. Some people can't work remotely. And some people are watching free opera online. Some people can't concentrate because of anxiety. Some people are still gathering in large groups. Some people didn't buy enough hand sanitizer, and some people bought too much. Some people are volunteering, and some people are going to lose their business. And it goes on and on and on from here. And some of this may have resonated with you, maybe none of it resonated with you. The point being that we are still all connected. We are all in this together. And if you are experiencing something, you know that there's someone else out there that is experiencing the same thing you are. And I hope that we can continue to practice yoga together. We have this beautiful online platform, and so that gives me a little joy and a little hope today. So take a moment here to just wiggle your fingers and your toes. And then take your arms up in the air, reach them up, stretching your shoulders up. Beautiful. And then exhale your arms back down. And do that again. So you're lying on your back. Inhale your arms up, reach up. And from here, circle your wrists around very deliberately. Nice big circles. And then go in the opposite direction. Beautiful. And then exhale your arms down, relax them down. And again, inhale, reach up. And exhale down. Beautiful. Start to bend your knees and just bring the soles of your feet onto the mat, onto the floor. And then roll over onto your favorite side and give yourself a moment there. Use your top arm to press yourself up and come all the way up into a seated position. So to come up into a seated position, you're going to grab one of your blankets. I'll just use this one. Or a towel would work also. And sit right on the edge of that blanket. Cross-legged, if that's comfortable for you. Nice. And then just take a moment here to sit up nice and tall. So untucking your tailbone, maybe move a little flesh out of the way. Roll your shoulder blades down your back. Sit up nice and tall. Beautiful. And come back to that breath. So maybe close your eyes here and just find your breath again. And by that I mean focus on it. You could count your breath. Count your inhales and count your exhales. Be with your breath. This is allowing us to connect from a distance. Slow it down. Nice. All right, open your eyes and bring your left hand on top of your left knee and gently press that knee away from you. And you're going to sort of lean to the right. So I'm opposite you. And then, so press that knee down and straighten your left hand, and then bring the right hand into your head and just let it lean into there. And so really pressing that knee down, and you should feel something all the way down your left side. If you're not feeling anything and you want to go a little deeper, you can drop to the right a little bit more, maybe coming on your forearm. And then just let your head relax to the right, sort of opening your left shoulder. Just letting gravity do the work here. Again, coming back to your breath. Beautiful. Release that, come back to center, and we'll do the opposite side. So this time taking the right hand on your right knee, and then start to straighten that elbow, straighten the arm, pressing your hand against your knee and sort of pressing away from that. And then bring your left hand into your head into your left hand, just letting it rest there. And keep pressing away, leaning to the left. If you don't feel anything, you can drop down here. Let your left ear come a little closer to your left shoulder, opening the right side of the neck. Beautiful. Release that, come back to center. And this time, take your right hand out to the side. Take that left arm and swing it up in front of you, and then open it up behind you. Looking up to the left. Big opening on that left side. Swing it back around. Place the left hand down. Swing the right arm up. Reaching up and looking up. Beautiful. And we're just going to move back and forth here. So bringing one hand down, swinging the opposite hand in front. Lifting up and back, lifting your heart, and just move back and forth a few times at your pace. Opening up, reaching up. Nice. And don't forget your breath. See if you can move with your inhales and your exhales. Ideally inhaling as you lift the spine, opening up, and then exhaling as you move that hand across and down. Beautiful. One more. Nice. And then come back to center. And switch which leg is in front. Bringing the opposite foot in front. Turn your torso over your right leg. And just frame your knee with your fingertips. Sit up tall, lengthen your spine. Take a big inhale. And on the exhale, hinge over that right knee, walking your hands out. Maybe you can walk your left hand as far as your right hand. And then relax your upper body. Relax your torso here. Leaning to the right and let everything go. Breathe with me here. Deep inhales and long exhales. Relax your head, your face, your jaw. Shake your head, yes and no. And take a deep inhale and see if you can go a little bit deeper. Beautiful. Beautiful. Slowly begin to release that, lifting your torso up, coming all the way back to center. And then just do a little head roll here, neck roll, I should say. Just releasing tension you might have created in the neck. Go in both directions. Beautiful. Come back to center. We'll do the opposite side. I'm going to move my props out of the way here. So just turn your torso over that left knee. Take a big deep inhale. And on the exhale, start to hinge over that left knee, walking your hands out. Maybe walking the right hand as far as your left hand. And when you've found that edge, you can't go any further. Relax your upper body. Relax your arms, your face, your neck. Floating over that left leg. Keep your right hip grounded here. And just relax into it. Pay attention to your breath here. Deep inhales, long exhales. Sending breath to your right hip and your left hip. Shake your head, yes and no. Relax the neck. Find some stillness. Take another deep inhale. And on the exhale, maybe you go a little bit deeper. Beautiful. Slowly begin to lift up here, taking your time, coming all the way up. Bring your hands onto your knees and find a big circle here, moving your ribs. Think about moving down low at the hip level. Beautiful. And then switch sides, go the opposite direction. Nice. All right. We're going to move into garland pose, also known as malasana or squat. So I'm going to suggest we do it with a blanket today or a towel. So first just take your legs out and kind of shake them all out. Nice. And then if you have any knee issues or knee concerns, you want to be careful here. This is a deep hip opener too. If you have blocks here or extra props, blankets, pillows, you can use those. So we're going to start by standing up, and I think if I stand up you may not be able to see me in the camera, but don't worry, I'll come back down. So just stand up and just kind of shake everything out. Maybe you can see me shaking my legs, my hands, not sure what you can see. And then take your feet and walk them back onto your blanket. So I've been sitting on this blanket. I'm going to just put my feet on there as wide as your hips, if not a little bit wider. And then start to sink down. So as you come down into your squat, this is where you might need more props. So if you can't go down this low, don't worry about it. Just find something you can sit on, put a pillow under there, or any prop that you can find that's going to help you support you. So wherever you are is where you need to be in this moment. Once you get settled in your position, see if you can lift your spine a little bit taller, maybe bringing your hands towards your heart, maybe lifting your head and your neck a little bit. And then see if you can find something in your body that you can relax and let go of. Coming back to your breath again. Taking nice deep inhales and long exhales. We're all in this together. Beautiful. I hope you're still with me. A couple more breaths here. Beautiful. All right, we're going to work our way out of this. So just let your hands come down and kind of lean forward into it. Take your time. Maybe you want to lift your hips up a little bit and then just work your way into bringing your knees down. Bring your hips back onto that blanket again. Sole the feet out in front, keeping your feet a little wide on the mat. And then we're just going to windshield wiper back and forth, giving the hips a break here. So let them come down to one side. Let that hip come all the way up in the air. And then release that and do the opposite. Just moving back and forth. You get a nice little gluteus maximus massage here too. All right, so release that and work your way around into tabletop. So bringing your hands under your wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. So you look like a table. And let's do some cat-cow. So I'm going to tuck my toes under. And then on an inhale, drop the belly down and pull your tailbone up in the air. Keep your neck long, pull your shoulder blades back. And then exhale, round the spine, looking towards your navel. And just begin to move back and forth at your pace. And following your breath here, inhaling and exhaling. Keeping your fingers spread wide. Beautiful. All right, and then bring your big toes together. So bringing them together, take your knees a little bit wider apart, and we're going to do a little moving child's pose. So keeping your hands where they are, just press your heels back, keeping your elbows straight. We're not going to come all the way down into a child's pose, but then coming forward, bringing the hips forward, stretch out the wrists, and just move back and forth a few times here. Follow your breath. Beautiful. All right, let's release that and come back up into tabletop. From here, if you have blocks, you might want to grab them. I've lost my other block. Oh, here it is. So you can hold on to these blocks and then pull that left foot forward. So if you don't have blocks, it's fine. You're just going to need to adjust a little bit. So we're coming into a low lunge. So you might want to take that right leg back a little bit, or you could bring it up depending on how that feels in your psoas and your hips. So just find a lunge here. Keep the left knee stacked over the left ankle. And just pause here. See if you can lift your spine up a little taller. That's why the blocks come in handy here. I'll do it without blocks in case you don't have those at home. And then find your breath again. Nice long inhales and long exhales. And then we're going to find a little movement. So taking your hip to the left, hips to the left, and then to the right. Just a little left-right movement. Nice. All right, now we're going to straighten that left leg. So you're going to walk your hips back and your hands back. And again, if you have blocks, you can hold onto them here. Straightening that left leg. Bring your toes towards your chin. And then spread your toes as wide as you can. Beautiful. And then pull that foot a little bit closer to your chin. Hinge at the hip and come over that left leg a little bit more. So see if you can come with a flat back at first. So don't let your head totally hang down yet. And then when you've come as far as you can go, relax your upper body. We'll hang out here for a couple of breaths. See if you can relax your breath here. And then find that gentle sway of the hips, left and right. Beautiful. And then work your way back up into that low lunge. Lift your heart here, lift your neck tall. Breathe. And now we're going to move back and forth. So just straighten your left leg again, coming back, hinging over that leg, and then moving forward. So move at your pace. Maybe you want to move a little faster than I'm moving, maybe a little slower. Pay attention to your hips. Pay attention to your shoulders. Most of all, pay attention to your breath. Make sure you're following your breath with your movements. Following your movements, with your breath. Now, if you do this a lot, or you feel like you're not really getting much from it, try separating your knee and your foot a little bit more. You can also tuck the toes of that foot and come up and down. Just pay attention to what your body's asking for today. Beautiful. Let's do one more together. And then pause here in this low lunge. And then release the left leg back. Coming into tabletop again. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. And take your hips way over to the left, noticing how that hip feels. And then way over to the right. Nice. And then just circle the hips around. You can kind of move forward and back. Whatever movement feels good to you right now, little organic movement. Beautiful. All right. From here, we're going to move into a wide knees child's pose. So take your knees, separate them, bring your toes together, bring your hips back, and then take your arms and gently let them reach forward. Bring your forehead down to the mat, or if you have a blanket or a towel, if your head doesn't come down very easily and touch the floor, you can put a prop under your head. And just begin to focus on your breath here again. Think about breathing from your tailbone up through the crown of the head. Long, deep inhales and equally long exhales. then take your forehead and move it back and forth. Slowly, letting your face move from side to side. Beautiful. And then take your arms and reach them behind you. Let your palms come face up and just let your shoulders relax completely. Begin to release that and work your way back up again. We'll do the opposite side. So coming into tabletop and then pull that right foot up between your hands. Take your time. Help it up if you need to. Grab your blocks if you have them. Maybe walk that left knee back a bit. And just pause here. Let me use the blocks here. And see if you can lift your spine up tall, lift your neck tall, pull your shoulder blades down your back. Keep that, watch your knee, see if it's stacked over your right ankle. And then begin to focus on your breath. If you're feeling like you need extra support under that back knee, you could put a blanket or a towel back there. Come back to the breath. And then find a little movement here. So taking the hips left and right. Just noticing how that feels in your hips. And then start to straighten that front leg. So walk your hands back. Holding on to your blocks or bringing your hands to the mat for support. And then just take a moment here to check your shoulders and see if you can hinge at the hips and not just round your upper body, but think about bending here. So you're going to feel a nice big hamstring stretch here. Spread your toes as wide as you can, and then pull your toes towards your chin and hinge at the hip here, and then relax your upper body. Once you've found your edge, let your upper body relax. Relax your head and your shoulders. Breathe. We're all in this together. Beautiful. And then find that little movement in your hips, left and right. It doesn't have to be a big movement. Beautiful. And then start to walk your hands back forward, coming into that low lunge again. Lifting up tall. I hope you're still with me here. Then we're going to start to move back and forth here. So taking your hips back, hinging at the hips, coming over that leg, and then coming forward into your lunge, and begin moving at your pace. Maybe you want to move a little slower than I'm moving, maybe a little faster. Take your time. If you want to challenge your balance here a little bit, you can try closing your eyes. Just be careful, make sure you have your balance steadied as you move back and forth. And most of all, pay attention to your body. If it's not feeling this morning for whatever reason, or you've gone a little too deep, back off a little bit. Beautiful. One more, and then we'll all meet in that forward lunge. Beautiful. All right, from here, just take that right leg back, coming back into a tabletop position. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. And then bringing your hips back just a little bit, keeping your hands straight like you're going to come into a child's pose. But don't come all the way down. Just let your hips drop back and then come forward like we did a little while ago with the toes together. But just keep your knees about hip distance apart, moving back and forth. All right, now we're going to do some hip circles here. So taking the hips way over, and then you can bring them forward a bit, out to the side and back. Just make big circles, noticing how this feels in your hips. And reverse direction. All right, coming back to center. From here, we've been doing a lot on the hips, so let's not forget about our arms. So we're going to take the left forearm down on the mat, or sorry, your left elbow and your left forearm, and bring that left elbow just a little bit in front of your left shoulder. Take your right arm and plant your hand down, the palm of your hand. Keep that right elbow lifted, and then bring your chest or your heart towards the floor. See if you can bring your head to your forearm. If it doesn't come down there comfortably, you can put a block here or a blanket. So your hips are still lifted in the air. You should feel a nice opening in the right side. If you don't feel it, reach that right arm out a little bit more or lift your elbow. Bring your awareness back to your breath again. From here, wiggle your hips a little bit from side to side and see if you can notice a little bit more of an opening in that right shoulder, maybe your left shoulder. Just a tiny little movement. And then slowly begin to release that. Come all the way up onto your knees here. Take a big inhale, reaching your arms up. Exhale down. Roll your shoulders and see if you notice how the right shoulder feels compared to that left shoulder. Probably a little different. And just shake it all out. And then come back down, we'll do the opposite side. So bring the right elbow down a little bit in front of your right shoulder. Right forearm comes down. Take the left arm out in front. Plant that left palm. Keep your elbow lifted. And then start to bring your heart towards the floor. Let your head relax on something. Make sure you're not keeping your head lifted up here the whole time. You don't want to create any more tension in the neck while we're trying to relax something. Breathe into your left side. Nice. And then very slowly start to lift yourself up, taking your time. Coming all the way up onto your knees again. And then inhale the arms up, reach up. Exhale down. And then find another little shoulder roll. And take your neck and roll it around some. Go in both directions. Nice. All right. I'm going to come down onto your back again. So have your folded blanket or your towel ready here. And work your way all the way down onto your back. So we're just having this nearby so that we can grab it when we need it. Actually, I should say, before you get all the way down, fold that towel or that blanket up into a fairly tight little square, kind of like this, or maybe it's a rectangle. And then come all the way down, take a big stretch when you get down here. Connect the back of your body to your mat, to the earth again. Stretch out long. And then take your left leg and stretch it as far as you can with your foot flexed. And take your right arm and stretch it as far as you can. And then release that. Let them relax a little bit. Take your right leg and stretch it as far as you can. And your left arm and stretch it as far as you can. Beautiful. Release that and bend your knees. Bring the soles of the feet onto the mat. Take that folded blanket. Lift up your hips and put the blanket under here. Now, if you have blocks at home, it's nice to do this with a block. We're moving into a semi-waterfall position. And make sure you've tucked your chin to your chest. And then when you're ready, one at a time, take your legs up in the air. With your feet flexed, bring your arms to cactus arms or out to the side if you have room. And start to relax again here. This position is really nice to drain the lymph nodes in your feet. It's great for the thyroid and the parathyroid. You could close your eyes here if you like. If you like looking at your toes, keep your eyes open. Be aware of your breath. We're all in this together. We are one community. From here, take a nice deep, deep inhale from way down low. Fill up your entire torso with breath. And then let out a big sigh. Start to bend your knees and just let them hang there. Like you're seated in a chair here. Take your head and roll it back and forth a few times. And then pull your feet in towards your body and hold onto your feet and kind of press your tailbone down into your prop, into your block or your blanket or towel. And see if you can press your elbows into your thighs, opening your legs here. Big stretch in the inner groin area. Pull your feet a little bit closer to you. And then release that. Bring the soles of your feet back down onto your mat. Lift up your hips and take that block or blanket out of the way. Bringing your hips back down onto the mat. Feet are about hip distance apart. And then let your feet just float your knees from side to side. Letting that hip come up in the air. And then take your feet and bring them a little bit wider on the mat, a little wider than your hips. And then let your knees float over to one side, let's say to the right side to start with. And then take your left arm behind you, a little gentle twist here. Breathe into your left hip. If you need a prop under that right knee, grab that blanket or block and just tuck it underneath there. If your left arm doesn't come all the way down onto the floor or the mat, you can bring it down a little bit closer to your body. And breathe some intentional breaths up and down the left side of your body. Relax your shoulder a little more. Relax your hips a little bit more, your knees and ankles. Relax your face and your jaw. And then slowly begin to release that, bringing your knees back to center. And then kind of swish them back and forth again here, just keeping your feet where they are. Release your left arm down by your side. And then let your knees float all the way over to the opposite side. For me, that's the left side, whatever side you didn't do. Take your opposite arm behind you. Again, if you want to take any props and tuck under that knee, or if your shoulder doesn't come all the way down to the floor, then adjust it so that you can relax that shoulder down and your whole arm should be relaxed down. Then begin to breathe into this side of your body. Nice long, deep inhales. If you like, you can turn and look towards your right shoulder. Relax your neck, your jaw. Relax your face. Beautiful. Slowly start to bring your knees back to center. Keeping the feet wide, start to windshield wiper back and forth here, just moving your knees from side to side. Get a little massage on the hips, the low spine, the gluteus maximus. Beautiful. And then take another big stretch here. Take your legs out long. Take your arms overhead. Connect the back of your body, your spine with the earth. Nice. And then begin to work your way into your final Shavasana position. If you have a bolster, you could tuck it under your knees. You could also just take that folded blanket and put it under your knees. If you like to have a blanket under your head, you could take a rolled blanket and put it under your head. So just gather all your things around you. Maybe you want to take your blanket and just cover your whole body with it, depending on the temperature of your house right now. And let your ankles just fall open to the side. Let your arms come out to your side with the palms facing up, and sort of wiggle your shoulders under your body. And then take your head and roll your neck back and forth slowly, left and right. And then find a place where your head can rest in the middle, where you think it's in the middle, slightly tucking your chin to your chest, so keeping your neck long. Even if you have a blanket roll under there, make sure you're not cranking your head up too much. And then begin to relax your face, relaxing your eyes, your jaw, your chin, maybe moving your jaw around a bit. And let your tongue fall away from the roof of your mouth as you begin to focus on your breath. Letting everything go, just breathe. Very slowly begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Just find a little bit of movement in your body. Start to come back into your space and time. And then when you're ready, take your arms overhead for a big stretch, like you're first waking up in the morning. Stretching out long, stretch your legs out long. And then bend your knees. And bring your knees into your chest. Find a little rock here. And then roll over onto your right side. And give yourself one last little moment here. before moving on with your day or with your evening. So just as a reminder, we are all in this together. Take heart, because you are not the only person experiencing what you're going through right now. There are other people who are having very similar, if not the exact same experiences. Ultimately, we are still a community. We're all in this together. Begin to work your way up into a seated position. Take your arms out to the side and let's inhale together. I know you're with me. And then exhale all that beautiful calm energy back into your heart to carry with you throughout the day or evening. Thank you for practicing with me. Namaste. Thanks everybody. I miss you. Have a great day.